Hey guys, Evil Panda here, and this is some gameplay for Game of Thrones, a role-playing game. So for combat, basically all you do is you attack someone, you hit spacebar, and it brings up all your skill points, which you've been assigning skills to as you level up through the game. And then basically you select a skill point, and then to switch between your characters that you're using at the time, you press tab. You don't really get to choose your characters too much. Basically, they just assign them to you. Like, you can't actively go out and hire, like, some amazing person to work with you. In this one, I'm playing as Alistair, and the two main characters get a second, like, row of abilities. So Alistair gets the fire abilities, and basically he uses the power of, I think it's like R'hllor, to get his powers, who is like the god of fire or something. And then the other guy, Moors, he gets a dog, which he can have help him attack, but he's not here at the moment in this part of the game. So basically, you use like your skill points to try and attack them. You can change your inventory and stuff as well, but your main like attacks and powers will come from your characters. So Alistair is probably my favorite character in the game, because he gets like double life, and his skills are way better than Moors. But Moors, on the other hand, gets his dog, who you can control, and he can like sneak up on people who are alone and kill them without you actually having to go into proper battle. But yeah, so basically, I mean, you just run around, you kill the people using your skill points. I personally don't like the style of gameplay where it's like over the shoulder sort of thing, because it's just, I don't know, it's kind of just annoying, especially if your character's really close to a wall, because sometimes it's just hard to see what they're actually attacking, because the camera is like, you can't zoom in and out with your camera, but you can rotate it, that's about it. So sometimes if your character's near a wall, your camera sits in the wall and just watches like your back of your character as he's trying to attack someone. The graphics in this game are pretty good, considering it's Game of Thrones, but I mean, yeah, it's alright. So there's three kinds of armor in this game. There's heavy armor, light armor, and I think like chainmail armor. And then you've got special weapons which do more critical damage against certain types of armors. Like I think maces do more damage against heavy armor, and then you got perforating weapons and daggers. And basically each kind of weapon will do more damage to a certain kind of armor. And then you've also got hit chances and all these other things that they use. But basically, if you just play as Alistair, you just set them on fire, and it's pretty easy. Just using his lore power, because then you get massive critical hits when you set them on fire. But, I don't know, I quite like using the fire ability and then his explosive ability, which basically makes all the fire erupt and stuns people all around him. And it also does, like, massive damage. So, the key to, like, combat in this game is basically always having a certain skill ready and using your defensive character, because usually you'll have one with you, to basically like taunt them into attacking him, and then you can just like use your heavy damage to kill them while they're busy. And basically you just want to keep swapping between characters and using skills. So you can have 3 skills like lined up to be used, but you've got energy on your character, and if you use too much energy, then you can't use a skill, but you can recharge your energy while in battle. I think like every 20 seconds you can recharge it, and then it just takes you out of battle for like 4 or 5 seconds while they're recharging. But, I mean, you don't usually have to do it. This game also has a few bugs, as you can see, where like your character goes invisible during a cutscene, just based on like his positioning. Okay, so Alistair's just leveled up. So he's level 11 apparently. So you got skill points, well these are attributes I should say. And then you've got, these are your skills. So you get the first lot of skills which cost 1 point each, and then you got the second lot of skills which cost 2 points. Basically you can get all the skill points if you do the side missions, but side missions are really boring. So no, it's up to you. And then you've got your second roll of powers, which is this one. So you'll get separate points to put into this like tree, and basically you can go whichever way you want, depending on what skills you want to try and get. I personally like Alistair's powers. I think his ones are really good. I mean, Moore's is also quite good with his dog, but I don't know, there's something about Alistair and his fire. And then you've also got skills, so you got heaps of them. I didn't actually realize this when I first played the game, but I think it was about chapter 7 when I realized you could actually scroll down on this page. But yeah, but basically you got the different kind of weapons and your armor, and you can just put a point in it.
Tell me how it went.
So this game has like a million cutscenes. Pretty much, I tried to choose a part in the game to show you guys for gameplay where there isn't a million cutscenes, but it's quite hard in this game because I think like 70 or 80% of this game is cutscenes, not gameplay, which is very disappointing when it comes to playing a game and pretty much you're just watching like someone's animation for most of the time. So I think there is a whole lot of hidden stuff in this game, and there's always lots of loot. Alistair's quite good at finding it because you can press R and he uses his lore power to like find hidden things.
I will not be able to save you.
The storyline in this game is quite good, but I mean, it's disappointing when you get a game that has a really good story but the gameplay just like lets down, because I mean, it's not like an interactive storybook. It's meant to be a game, not like it just cutscenes. If you kind of like, I think probably the closest game that I could say to this would be like XCOM, because that's pretty much the same sort of combat system and gameplay. I mean, XCOM was kind of more fun because they don't have so many cutscenes. It's more focused on gameplay rather than like just watching random stuff. You can skip the cutscenes in this game, but I mean, if you skip cutscenes, you're not going to know what's happening because this game is very story-centered, which I mean you'd expect with like, since it's based on like books and TV series. But I mean, still, I was expecting a lot more gameplay. One of the good things about this game is that you can pretty much save. Like, as long as you're not in combat, you can save the game and you can load back at that point. The auto saves, there's not many like each stage. Like, I think it's probably like ends up being like every 8 or 9 minutes that you can actually you'll get an auto save, but you don't notice it all the time. Sometimes it's pretty seamless depending on the stage you're playing. If it's a really difficult stage, you'll like really notice where the autosaves were because you'll just keep on dying and respawning, and then you have to go back like 10 minutes, and then you'll remember to save that time. But I mean, that's pretty typical with most games though, when they have terrible autosaves. So you can loot bad guys and chests and hidden objects. And you've got this inventory system. I don't think there's like a max inventory. I think it's unlimited. Because pretty much after chapter 4 I stopped selling items. Because I realized it was just a waste of time, since you like, most stages there isn't even a shop anyway. But I mean, there's nothing worth buying at a shop. It's all like random stuff that you'd never want for your character, because the stuff you pick up is better than it. Probably the only thing you'd want to buy would be potions, but even then, I think I never bought a potion, because pretty much I think Alistair's the only one that really needs to use them to set his swords on fire, but he actually has a skill in his tree which lets you like automatically set your sword on fire without having to use the potion. So once I got that, the point of potions just came kind of useless. I mean, you still need a potion if you wanted to do wildfire or something like that, but I never used wildfire since his normal fire was pretty much good enough to kill everyone in the game anyway. So, I mean, the inventory system I thought was kind of bad because it's not really organized that well. It auto-organizes a bit, but I noticed it kind of does it in reverse. Like, you have your weakest items at the front, and then you have your strongest item, and then it categorizes it by the type of item. So, I mean, yeah, it's an alright. And then you've also got, it says the types, and you've got all the stats for your items, but even still, not my most favorite inventory system. just gonna grab this loot, and then another cutscene, because that's super, super exciting.
Thanks to your help, our men took this castle with ease.
So I think this cutscene was probably one of the more interesting ones, because you actually get to, like, do proper role-playing, where you like, control stuff, and you actually get an output, and you get to see what happened based on your choices. Whereas in most cutscenes, they'll be like, do you want to do this, or do you want to do this? And basically, depending on which choice you get, usually they'll still end up doing the exact same thing, no matter which side of the tree you went on. And other ones, depending on which choice you make, you might get a better outcome. But this one I like the most. It's probably my most favorite cutscene in the entire game, where you get to do choices. But, I don't know, I was kind of disappointed in this game when it came to its choices. I was thinking more along the lines of, like, the Walking Dead series, where, like, you make a bad choice, the character's dead for the rest of the game. Like, that was something that was really interesting for a role-playing type of game. Whereas in this one, it's not really like that. It's more like, you don't help someone, then they might hate you a little bit, but you can still turn them around next time you talk to them. In this particular cutscene, basically, what you're doing is you've got 3 types of units, and you want to assign them based on different situations around the town. So I think you've got citizen, army, archers, and pikemen. And then you have to choose where to place them, whether to send, like, your archers to help people on the boats trying to escape or whatever. And then whether they die or whatever is how you place them. And then the guy immediately after the cutscene tells you, like, how it went and whether you was successful. I'm not sure if it's actually possible to be, like, unsuccessful and to have, like, all your units die. It probably is, because, I mean, it would probably just say game over and then have you redo it until you finally got it right, since it does that quite a couple times in cutscenes, where if you make one wrong choice and it just takes you straight back to the beginning of the cutscene and asks you again the same question. So then basically, it's like, you have freedom of choice, but if you make the wrong choice, the game's over, and then we just take it back and you have to make the choice that we actually wanted you to make in the first place. It's kind of annoying when they do that in games, where it's like imitation freedom sort of thing. I don't know if that's what you'd call it, but I don't know. To me that's kind of what happens in this game quite often. But even so, I mean, yeah, pretty average. Okay, so pretty much everything I've shown you so far is the main, like, gameplay in this game. I don't think there's anything else that I saw while I was playing the game. If anyone wants to know, like, or needs help during the game if they decide to play it, I've got all the walkthroughs on my channel, so make sure to go and check them out. I don't do any commentary on them because I kind of got bored, and then I just couldn't be bothered, like, talking while I was playing when I was doing it. I don't know. I didn't really I wasn't overexcited to play the game after, like, the second chapter, so pretty much I just redid it and then didn't do commentary because I couldn't be bothered. But I mean, the walkthroughs I made, they'll still help you. They're like a walkthrough / let's play sort of thing, because I wanted to still enjoy myself, but while playing the game, but I still wanted to do a walkthrough for it. And the game's, like, really long and really slow to play, so I couldn't be bothered playing the game twice just to do, like, a walkthrough the second time with commentary. But if you do get stuck in a certain point, make sure to go check it out. It will probably help you. Or you can just do what I do and, like, mimic me, and then I'm sure you'll pass the game and win. Okay guys, see ya.